Hey there, toy collector friends and Doctor Who fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Triple TC, that's the time travelling toy collector, and this is Doctor Who The Collection Season 14. Yep, it's another entry into my Collecting the Collection range. As of this point in time, I've now covered all of the inaugural seasons that are available for all the Doctors from William Hartnell all the way up until well, technically the arrival of the 15th Doctor, although we will soon have their first season available as physical media as well. Sadly, at this point, there's no second Doctor box sets available, but if you are somewhere in the future watching this in chronological order, hopefully everything's been released and it's fantastic. But here we are. I've gone through all the inaugurals. I've now gone back to start infilling with previously released, and that starts with Season 14. And one thing I would really like to kick off by pointing out is always the fantastic artwork that we get with this. But it's just a nice little parallel, because here we see Tom Baker's fourth Doctor in his Talons of Weng-Chiang outfit, which is a broad approximation of Sherlock Holmes. And Tom Baker, when he left the role, I think it's one of his first TV roles, was to take on the mantle of Sherlock Holmes for the Hound of the Baskervilles. And later Who creator and showrunner Stephen Moffat, along with Mark Gatiss, would then also sidestep to create one of the most successful iterations of Sherlock Holmes I think we've ever seen, made for television. So just some interesting parallels that mean nothing and matter to no one. I just thought I'd say it because it's, stuff. Anyway, let's get back to the matter in hand. But before I start unraveling this box of delights, if you haven't yet, please do like the video, and of course a subscription to the channel would be fantastic. It really helps push me towards my next subscriber milestone, so I would very, very much appreciate it if you could do that. It's absolutely free, there's no commitment, you don't have to watch every single thing that's not your cup of tea, and there's a whole range of various different things to explore across the channel. Anyway, enough hideous self-promotion, let's get back to Doctor Who. So as we've already seen in previous videos, and if this is your first time, then welcome. One of the big selling points for me for this collection is the space saving element of it, because if you've already got, like me, the DVDs, or in some cases the VHS cassettes, they take up a hell of a lot of space. This doesn't. This streamlines it. It's very, very nice. I'm still keeping the dust cover, for want of a better phrase, or the L or the J cover. Different people call it different things. I just call it a dust cover. Who am I? Then you see all the detailing on the back. Let's have a quick look at that. Season 14, a nice, I think that's from The Deadly Assassin, if I'm right. That's Tom in his Time Lord regalia. Here we have all the stories listed: Mask of Mandragora, The Hand of Fear, Deadly Assassin, Face of Evil, Robert's Death, and the cover story, The Talons of Weng-Chiang. And again, we get all of these new features on this collection, as well as all of the previously released DVD special features. And again, I know it's a bone of contention for some people, but I do really think this is one of the ways this set demonstrates its real added value. Because in DVD terms, we were talking about maybe around between 10 and 15 UK pounds per release. I think these retail somewhere between, depending on the number of stories and discs, somewhere between around 40 to 60 pounds currently. And it's and the value, the intrinsic value of just the material, I think is great. I think it's definitely investment, because all the stuff is upscaled, much higher quality on Blu-ray. So many new additional features on top of all the original special features. And again, if you have never purchased classic Doctor Who stuff before, and yes, you may be able to access it for the time being, because who knows, on iPlayer, etc., the quality of what's on there is the broadcast quality. It isn't the upscaled, upgraded quality, which of course is a selling point. It makes business sense for what's on these sets. So I'm just now going to take this dust cover off, just so you can see the entirety of the clean art, and it is beautiful. They never let us down. Lee Binding, who does this artwork, never, ever, ever lets us down with what we get. You've seen the side already, and as is traditional, we have a shot of the TARDIS on the rear of the box set, and it looks absolutely gorgeous and resplendent, just as we would hope it would. So the next event is the great opening. Now again, we'll deal with the left hand side shortly. All of the discs are in this sort of cassette storage version where you just sort of flip them out. They all have their own individual sticker pertaining to the story in question. Apologies, some of them are upside down. Goes to show this is the real world and not that's very upside down. And concluding with the bonus stuff with a nice another tipsy TARDIS there. But really, the discs are the secondary feature when you look at it in terms of the quality of the presentation and what you're getting here. And that sort of comes from this section here. So here we have the Doctor and Leela and the TARDIS, and as always, let me turn it around slightly so we can see this a bit better. We have the Velcro hinge here, which allows us to open this up. We can then open up, then we have this lovely artwork, which we've seen mirrored on the J case. Take that out. Here's the booklet where it's mirrored again. Drop that out of the way so we can see the wonderful secondary control room, which is absolutely divine here. You can see the view screen, the door, the pedestal, the strange sort of bureau-esque the bureau-esque console, which is of course lovely and fantastic. And then of course we get this booklet. So again, on top of everything you're getting, and I don't work for the BBC, I don't get anything for saying this. If I thought it was poor value for money, I would very much say so. But you get this lovely booklet. It's rammed with facts, information about the stories, information what's on the disc, the history, the development of the stories, production photos, artwork. You know, it doesn't miss a beat in terms of the coverage it provides. And that, along with some of those new documentaries and the other additional special features, it really does demonstrate the love that exists for this show. I'm not going to go through every single thing or do it so that you can pause it and zoom in. You need to get hold of this, you need to get hold of this box set. You need to support this range, keep it going. But it really is a wonderful, wonderful thing. I'll just zip around to the back here. It's hard for me to, as you're evidently discovering, it's hard for me to express just how much this sort of thing, when I was growing up, would have been phenomenal. But yeah, it distills stuff. I mean, I'm pretty sure that true fans will know most of this, but we've got to also consider who is the remainder of the audience here. Because, yes, true fans will probably be aware of all of this, but there's a whole new family of new fans emerging constantly. And this sort of thing would be an absolute treasure trove, I would argue, for those fans. An absolute treasure trove, and I think the quality of it is wonderful. I love the sort of grey, TARDIS grey with a pinkish tinge quality from the classic TARDISes, certainly, of the packaging. I think again, Lee Binding's artwork is truly stunning, and for me, the space-saving element is, of course, absolutely a bonus that I can't express enough. But I'm curious, because I've done a lot of postulating really about my view on it. What do you folks think about the Doctor Who collection box sets? Do you think they're value for money? I know it's a bone of contention because people think, well, isn't it? You're double dipping. They're forcing you to buy stuff. They're like exploiting the fandom. And I can understand to an extent that point of view, but I can only understand it to a limited degree. And the reason I say that is because, well, I'm sorry, but no one's making you buy anything. If you're missing out, if you have a fear of missing out on this stuff, then that's a bit on you, and it's your choice not to get it. I appreciate that they're not cheap, but then high-end quality products of any description aren't cheap, so they are a considered purchase. But I suppose in many respects that's a reason to be grateful that they come out so sporadically because it gives people time to save up, because if you know it's going to be around somewhere between the £40 to £60 mark, which is a lot of money for some people, you know, it is a lot of money, there's a lot of meals in that, there's a lot of bills in there, then yeah, it does give people time to save up. But I think we're probably averaging about 2 or 3 a year now, which isn't a lot. So hopefully that does give people who genuinely want to collect it sufficient time to sort of save up and be in a position to purchase it. Personally, if you can, I absolutely would. I absolutely would. I think they are fantastic. I think they're a fantastic series. And yeah, so I think I mentioned in a previous video, we've also heard that season 25, the 25th anniversary season, is the next one to be released fresh. So that's the 7th Doctor's second series in role. So I'm looking forward to that coming out. I think it's in October 2024. But again, these dates move around all over the place. No sooner is something announced than it's put back a couple of months. That's been the experience in most cases so far, but you never know. We might strike it lucky this time. Anyway, let me know in the comments below. Is this a collection that you're happy to have been collecting? Is it a collection you're kicking yourself that you didn't collect? Do you not really care too much about the packaging and all of that? You're just happy with the content? You're picking up the standard releases? Or are you just not remotely interested in this at all and you just think it's a cash grab by the BBC? All points of view are valid, all opinions are valid, because they're yours and they come from your own frame of reference. So there's no hate or shame in these comments. Thank you very much. I will also thank you very much for sticking with me for the last 11 or 12 minutes. It's been fantastic to have you here. I've been the Triple TC, that's the Time Travelling Toy Collector. You've been wonderful as an audience, and this has been the BBC's Doctor Who The Collection, Season 14 Limited Edition box set. And it just remains for me to say that a thing of beauty really is a toy, or a toy-adjacent collectible, forever. Take care, bye-bye for now.